This is a photo here back with some what's on deck. I'm doing this in 2 videos. Well, maybe doing this going forward like I used to in the past because it just gets to be way too long to do it all in one video, unless there isn't much going on in 1 week. So this one, we're going to be talking about stuff going on outside of Kickstarter and their upcoming stuff. I'm just going to go through my list here. If I can get page to open up, that would be spectacular. Come on. Nope, there we go. First thing I wanted to mention, hopefully, is this deck I discovered through another YouTube channel. I don't want to misspell plane by mistake. I discovered this through another YouTube channel, another reviewer of a card guy. You can check out his channel. There's a couple of decks that I discovered through his channel this week by randomness. Is this going to load or what? This is ridiculous. All right, finally. So what I wanted to say, like I said, was a deck that I found through another channel, the card guy. Go check out his channel. And it is the Nomad Las Vegas playing cards. Of course, there's previously this deck, Nomad, produced by Fury 11. But now there's this new one here. It's a red full bleed design, as you can see on the backs. It's very interesting. It is USB produced, USB-C produced. Not finding too many images, but there it is. And you can see it, the review there on his channel. Check it out. It is custom, the backs and the faces from what I've seen, what I recall. And I'm interested in getting one, obviously, if anyone is. Gets their hands on it, wants to make a trade, let me know. Let's go to Art of Play next. And there's a new deck here that I got an email on a few days ago. Not really my cup of tea, that's for sure. I don't know why they don't go to newest stuff immediately. Whatever. And it's this one right here. We've already talked about the Zoma and the Z deck before. The newest one is the Alphabet deck. 13 bucks. It's actually a reasonable price, all things considered, because usually it's 15 bucks and up on their website. And there you go. This is what you get. The back design, it says Cartas right there. Cartas Finas. Interesting. It's from Cartas Dubrand Nano Santa. It's 56 cards. Includes the ad cards. Why do websites have to do that every time you go on it? Here, save some money. No, go away. Just let me look at the damn product. It's annoying. Anyways, the tucker says Alphabet. Sideways. You see the backs. The backs are different on every card, so it's essentially a marked deck, but you would have to figure out, which, like, it's not an actual marked deck, but it's essentially a marked deck. You see, I guess that's a Joker. Printed by USB-C. The Ace of Spades is very unexciting. This says Ace of Spades on that worm thing. The court cards are basically standard. Not very exciting. You get some ad cards. Yeah. Not really exciting at all. Not very interested in that. Next up, I want to point out another deck that I found out through the Card Guy channel. And it is apparently not here. um, there it is. The Bicycle Frosted playing cards. It's a new Walmart exclusive deck. And apparently the image did not show up. There we go. um, I would suspect you may eventually see these on some card websites, like some of the other Walmart exclusives. Then again, maybe not. I have found it on eBay. Curse you, eBayers, for trying to overcharge people for everything. And I even tried to get a deal. I was like, I tried to offer the guy, I made an offer. Um, for like $8 because I know these cost like $2, and he rejected it. I had to pay like $10 for it or whatever it was. I'm kind of annoyed by that. Here it is for apparently $10.50. About what I paid for it, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure if we're going to see much in terms of the faces, unfortunately. But there is some modifications. The faces are slightly modified. Let's just, damn it. Let's just move on. Let's move on. I wanted to mention something here that I came across today. I just came across this on Saturday because somebody was asking me about where they can get the Portuguese uh, lingo deck. And unfortunately, it's not on their website. It's lingo.com or Amazon. Seems to be kind of difficult to find that one. It seems like they're not producing it anymore. But in doing so, I did discover something new here on their website. And I've actually ordered a couple of decks from there. One is the Kiwi Slang, because why not? Didn't have that one. And the other one was Millennial Slang. Because why not? I mean, there's so much slang that I see on social media all the time. I'm like, huh? Like shipping. To me, shipping is when I take something, put it in a package, and ship it to somebody. Apparently, to kids, it means something entirely different. Like look at this humble brag, complaining about life while sneaking in a brag. Aha, total sense there. That makes total sense. So I thought I would get those and review them because I do like their decks. Um, go to United Cardists. Tannins has a couple of things I want to mention, including, oh God, hang on, I'll be back. I'll even. All right, so I'm back. Not like you missed me. First, Tannins has released their own deck of cards, these signature playing cards, Tannins signature playing cards. $12 US isn't a bad price. Not much in terms of images except for the one here, if it will load up. It is a custom back design, features some bunnies, reminds me a little bit of the Hocus Pocus deck, just saying. It does have metallic inks on the cards, custom ace and joker, as well as an ad card, and a set of mispit cards for the free card Monty. And it has a nice luxury tuck with embossing and foil, gold foil. It is designed by Art of Play and printed by USB-C on a crust stock. Will you please load up? There we go. The ace, by the way, the ace of spades features the New York City skyline on it. 10 and is the oldest magic slump in New York, if you're not familiar with them. It's nice to see them put out their own deck of cards. I like the color. It's a nice design. Some I've indicated perhaps they should have put their bunnies on the tuckers as well to add a little something to it. That would have been nice, but I think it's nice. That looks nice, a nice, clean, simple look. The Jokers have bunnies on them as well. And I believe this is an LT, which would, I suppose, is the name of the original founder, Mr. Tannen. Probably Louis Tannen, I suspect. Not 100% sure, that's just a guess. And there's one more thing here that I wanted to. I ordered a couple of things here along with that. One is the Polar Phoenix playing cards, which we're not going to look at, which is Phoenix branded decks that are produced by, I'm not sure who, but they say they're the world's smallest jumbo decks. They are somewhat bigger than poker-sized decks, and I'm just keen to check them out. And then there's this. I had previously slain, of course, I have the Delan's Mystery and Madness Bicycle deck. I had also gotten the Wonder deck and another deck which they don't have listed here, which is the Automatic Trick deck. But then there's this one, the Dollar deck, which I did not see on Vanishing Ink where I got the other ones. They're a little bit pricey, 20 bucks each, but it is what it is. They're not just cards, they're magic as well. And I figured since I got the book, I might as well have the decks, right? And this one is basically the same as previous decks that I've gotten. Same back design essentially with his symbol, and it is marked. It's probably stripped or tapered and whatnot, like the other two decks that I got. This one actually says it's printed by USB-C, which is interesting because the other ones were printed by Cardamundi. So they printed two decks with Cardamundi and two with the USB-C. That's pretty interesting. um, it was only available with the deluxe editions of The Land, Mystery, and Madness, not available for sale anywhere else. And they were replacement decks for that book set. They did not come with instructions. Actually, technically, they do have some instructions in them, I will just say. At least the ones that I got so far. Um, yeah, it's interesting because I didn't know that there was a deluxe edition of Mystery and Madness. The one I got just came with the Bicycle Mystery and Madness Gaff deck. It didn't come with the other decks, so I feel a little bit gypped, a little bit ripped off. But it is what it is. I'm glad I'm able to get them. And I look forward to checking them out. Moving on to United Cardists. For, well, maybe a couple things. Apparently there's some new decks from Jackson Robinson, the back to school Crayola themed decks and Plum Pie deck. Which I'm not concerned with because I'm not getting them and I really don't care to promote him any more than that. But there you go. Um, by the way, the Bicycle Mark Gonzalez deck, which I have a review on my channel, which is pretty weird, is now available through Bookable, I think, playingcards.net. If you're interested. Oh, what's this? I might have mentioned this one before, but apparently there is a new artisan deck coming soon. Apparently a gold edition, possibly a foiled edition. Gold, based on the fact that next to edition over here, there's an LD, and obviously it's not old edition. It would make sense to be gold edition unless it's something different, but it would make sense to be a gold foil edition. Hopefully it's not too hard to find or too expensive for that matter. And then there's this coming soon to Kickstarter from Miranda. I thought I would mention it. The Stories playing cards by Mr. Vidakovic, who previously did the Planet series. Now I guess they're doing a Stories series. Or at least the Stories deck. Very interesting. You got cards that go together and make it a quad trick, whatever. And 4 cards that go together and make one image. Interesting artwork on the court cards, soon indicators and information, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. I look forward to checking it out when it comes out. And then, aha! So this one failed funding. I don't even know why it's on here. How do we get into this? Aha! These ones apparently did not fund, but have been produced. Yeah, they did not fund. Not very exciting. I can see why people would be interested in them. What the hell is these obese bodies that they have? Actually, no, they're tables, maybe. Or maybe they are obese bodies. It is weird. They are available, though, apparently, on this website, jungwielt.com. You can see it up here. And there's a link logo as well. 12 euros for one deck printed on a 320G Pro linen. Interesting. Not sure who produced them. And really, I'm not interested in them myself. But if you like them, by all means. Let's see what else we have. Illusionist has released their new mystery deck, which I've ordered. It is a new second edition, blue edition of the Kittens playing cards, previously the Madison Kittens. Now apparently it's Kittens. Because there's so many Kittens decks out recently. There's some kind of Kittens trend going on. This this person's not a fan. Apparently, they feel like the original decks were gross looking. They look like cast pit and crap on them. It kind of makes sense, but this one actually looks similar, I guess. It's fine. I'm interested in checking them out. And I mean, they're like $7.95 plus shipping, so it's not a bad price. Um, uh, and I thought I would mention this Dennis Beer. He has a deck. It's not exactly new, but I've only just recently, I just ordered it, so I figured I would mention it. It's the Expert Under the Card Table deck. Nice green color, probably fairly standard because he's a magician. It's made for him. USPC produced, designed by Jorg Willick, and delicious, well-filled, delicious beer glasses in the corners. They table fill nicely, apparently. And, ooh, he's also on Instagram, apparently. Whatever. they're cool, fairly simple decks, and I've been wanting to check out for a while, so I'm glad to finally be able to get one. Unless, of course, I already got one and I just don't remember, because I feel like I might have. I'll have to double check that, but whatever. Um, I'll just search that. USB-C has a new release yet again. Fortunately, I'm not going to be getting this one. Shocking, I know, because if we can get to it, there it is, the Neon Cardistry deck, which, as some have pointed out, is kind of similar to the Cardamundi Cardistry deck that came out before, just a different color. But it has no faces, no pips, no indexes, nada. It's all for cardistry. It's just one back and another back. It's basically backs on the faces and backs on the backs. I have no interest in that whatsoever. It's not usable. It's not functional, as you can see. It's just for cardistry, which is a big turnoff for me. And plus, they already made me pay for shipping twice for two different things that they released separately when they could have released them at the same time, the mini decks and the prototype decks. So I have no interest in getting this one, and even less interest because of that. Um, so it annoys me. They should make this with faces. Put some indexes on those puppies. They can still be cardistry friendly, and they can be more usable for anyone else who wants to use them. Just saying. um, I wanted to mention Hansen Chen's website, hansenchen.com. There's a bunch of decks on here that I haven't really seen elsewhere, haven't really mentioned before. That, of course, were produced by Hansen Chen in Taiwan, aka the same factory that has about 4 different other brands. um, so let's have a look at some of these decks, like the Karma, $15. Um, Obviously, some of these are you might have seen before in my videos on Kickstarter, like the Odyssey Nova, the prototype, Vin prototype, the Chicken Nuggets, Hyper Red, Echo. Uh, of course, I have Delusion, Slumbers, Fragment decks. I have the Vibrant. I have Pro Luxury. I mentioned in the past. Hanami. I have Chameleon. I have Southern Marble. I have the FU deck. No, thank you. Let's see if we can look at some of these. I will mention most of these decks have basically fairly standard faces. Not what I wanted to do. And actually, let's just, oops, I'll shut that down for now. Oh, this is taking way too long. So anyways, this mention it is Karma, there's Rose, Ferret, Carbon, Skiff, uh, Palette. Belmont, I'm actually interested in getting, if it's available. I'm not sure. Diagonal Stripes, Nirvana. Some of these I've gotten, and I have reviews on. Some have been on Kickstarter, I've had no interest in. Some haven't really seen anywhere else. Um, they're mostly fairly standard faces, just simple back designs like these Bohemias. That's your back design. Comes in red and blue, basically standard faces. The bevel I have, made for a magician. Let's see if this Belmont is actually available. This is also made for a magician. It is apparently available. Uh, Pretty nice, simple back design. It actually has custom faces. It's made for Jared Kopf by Dark Arts Press and based on the Tarot de Marcel playing cards or a tarot deck. So that's cool. You see the faces. This is the most customized one they have on their website, by the way. The rest, aside from like some that I've gotten already, are fairly standard, straightforward. Oops. I don't really have time to get into all of them, so we'll just leave it at that. Um, Playing card decks, there really wasn't a whole lot new this week. Of course, there is a link in the description where you can save 10% on your order and help out the channel. A referral link, I always recommend checking it out, especially if you've never gone to the website before. But the newest things they have is the Primordial right there. There's also Gilded Editions, which we'll check out here at Murphy's Magic. Yes, I'm leaving. Sorry to say. Um, Today would be nice. It would be very nice. Let me tell you, first of all, I don't know why the image doesn't work, but they now have the Slimline Copic 310 Slimline in blue. Primordial, prim, Primordial decks. There's a Chaos and Aether editions. They were previously on Kickstarter, completely custom, very interesting looking. Then there's the Flavors set, which I decided to get. 6 decks, which we'll get to momentarily. Let's just look at some of this Primordial. I can't pronounce it for some reason. Custom faces, you can see. I'm not going to look at both of them. This one's got white faces, the other one's got black faces. Nice custom pips, custom artwork. Printed by the USPC. Elemental inspired. Nice backs. Worth checking out if you like that. Let's look at the Flavors decks, which are from Magic and Carta. I had seen them there before. I had thought about getting them. Kind of glad I didn't, because now I get to get them on the Murphy's Magic pricing, which is great. There's 6 different decks in this set. You can get them individually as well. Fairly simple tuck cases and back designs. As you can see here, there's the cherries, which they kind of misspell. It should be IES technically. Pineapples, watermelons, grapes, lemons, and pears. It's also the only one that they have an apostrophe in there. Or is that a comma? I don't recall. But there they are. They're interesting. They're fun. They do have, I'll show you, modified faces. They are printed by, I believe, Parkson's Cartamundi, which is a Cartamundi factory in India, I do believe. Or somewhere is around there anyway. They're colorful, they're juicy, I guess. simple back designs. The faces do have modified color schemes, modified standard court cards. So I do like the colorful and the fun. And you can see the modified suit colors. Mainly the hearts and diamonds had the same colors as the actual cards. I think they're cool. I think they're fun, I suppose you could say. There's also the pastels, which is also from them. Orange and blue, which I was not a huge fan of. Mainly because I'm not a fan of the suits that they used. I do like the backs. I'll show you the one here if it will load up. Please. Oh, please. I do like the backs. They're made for cardistry, obviously. Again, all these are basically printed by, designed by Vivek Singhi, and they're produced, I believe, by Parkson's Cardamundi, like some of the previous decks I've gotten from them. And that was my one turnoff. I think these are the spades. Not really a fan of that. I don't understand why you would do that. The rest of the suits are fairly straightforward. They do modify the colors to... The colors are the same as the back design colors, which is okay. The jokers are alright. And then we got the card Macan, which is kind of superhero inspired, if I recall correctly. The back design is a bunch of colorful triangles. And the faces, again, they use the same kind of idea for the pips, which I'm not a huge fan of. These triangles. They're okay. It's got a superhero theme, but that doesn't really translate onto the court cards or anything like that. Court cards, by the way, not really feeling them as well. That's another turnoff for me personally. Yeah. But the backs are colorful. Then there's the bureau. And this new expert at the card table decks, which I did have some interest in getting, but not at what they were selling for on their website, which is like 15 bucks. The bureau is another one I had some interest in getting from the website, but I didn't. Bureau, however you pronounce it. It's got an interesting back design, borderless, good for cardistry and whatnot. At least the ace of spades looks more like a spade, or the spade pips do. And they've kind of modified the faces. Not a huge fan of that. But the backs are pretty interesting looking. So there's that. It's supposed to be a smuds type look, I guess. I don't know. And then let's look at these ones. Expert at the card table. Two different versions. There's a green one. They simply have a pattern to them, and it says expert in the middle. And the famous expert type artwork on the backs. So you see the jokers. They're alright. Custom pip. 1,500 of these. They won't be reprinted. Not sure who produced these, but I assume it's the same production. Parsons. And there's a white one. Because why not? I'm kind of tired of, let's just say, the expert at the card table decks. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. There's the white one. Basically the same thing, white and gold instead, and 1,500 of those as well. And Twisted Artistry, first edition, which I ordered from Terry Addy's website directly, which is no longer available there. The alphabet ones that I've sorted from Art of Play, Malone, which I mentioned last week, and Fluid. They also have Chem decks, which is interesting, but I'm not interested in those myself. And that is it for this week. Comment, rate, subscribe, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time for more. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.